At the end of its premiere, NCIS Season 22 officially decides the fate of Timothy McGee in the Major Case Response Team. CBS #1 procedural drama is back after the summer break with a riveting case that involved some creative time play. In NCIS Season 22, Episode 1, Empty Nest, Alden Parker finds the bullpen empty until Nick Torres' distress call forces him to reach out to Jessica Knight, who is already based in Camp Pendleton, for help. In the end, the case is solved, but as it turns out, there's still a bigger problem out there, especially for McGee. Currently, there are no more original cast members in the active roster of the show, leaving C. Murray's McGee as the longest-serving active player in MCRT. The character was introduced a few episodes after the NCIS pilot and was eventually promoted to a series regular. This reflects McGee's personal narrative in the series, starting as a probie and now as its senior field agent. He has worked with all iterations of the NCIS cast. Having been with NCIS for so long, it's understandable that McGee wants to move up in his professional career. While Torres is undercover and Knight is in Camp Pendleton, McGee is left in the district, but he's also busy with his own endeavor in Empty Nest. As it turns out, in the 6-month time jump since the NCIS Season 21 finale, he started working on securing a promotion to be the agency's deputy director. Interestingly, this is a role that is barely used in the show, since the main cast only includes Director Leon Vance and the rest of MCRT. It was only in NCIS Season 10 that it was prominently incorporated into the story of the show when Deputy Director Jerome Craig stepped in to take over directorial duties while Vance was grieving the death of his wife. Since then, there has been no mention of the role until McGee's desire to secure the spot brings it back up. While Parker flies to Los Angeles to be on the ground with Knight as they find Torres, McGee runs point in Navy Yard, primarily because he is also in the process of doing interviews, including one on the Hill. Unfortunately, despite his stellar record and loyal service, Vance informs McGee that he, unfortunately, isn't chosen to be the next NCIS deputy director. Instead, the job was given to a brand new character, Seamus Devers Gabriel LaRoche. Before nabbing the gig, he served as the Department of Justice DOJ inspector, who also happened to be involved in the Torres/cartel case. McGee is understandably dismayed, although Vance reassures him that he is appreciated for all the work that he has done for MCRT. Ideally, McGee would have gotten the role. After more than 20 years in the agency solving so many high-profile cases and risking his life one too many times, he has proven his worth time and time again. Admittedly, the character suddenly pining for a promotion is a bit surprising. He was previously offered the role of MCRT's leader on the heels of Leroy Jethro Gibbs' exit in NCIS Season 19, but he turned it down. Empty Nest also doesn't give enough backstory to understand Murray's character's change of heart. While there is no doubt that McGee would have been the perfect person to be the next NCIS deputy director, going this route poses big challenges for the show moving forward. As previously mentioned, the role barely existed, let alone be compelling, in the last 21 seasons. Murray's character securing the promotion would risk him doing less fieldwork and more paperwork, something that he didn't like doing. Beyond that, however, NCIS cannot afford to lose McGee at this point, considering the succeeding big exits in the last few years, starting with Ellie Bishop, Gibbs, and just last season, Ducky Mallard. McGee being turned down for the job is heartbreaking for him. That said, he doesn't really have time to wallow, considering that LaRoche is the suspected agency mole in NCIS Season 22, Episode 1. He, Parker, and Torres were just discussing the matter when Vance called him to deliver the bad news. Empty Nest ends on somewhat of a cliffhanger, as LaRoche officially introduces himself. He is flabbergasted, but considering McGee's previous experience dealing with traitors within NCIS, It's safe to say that he will waste no time proving that the new deputy director is indeed a mole.